Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, good afternoon. Deputy Chief Paul Humphrey, P-A-U-L-H-U-M-P-H-R-E-Y. Here to give you an update on an incident that happened yesterday around 6 p.m. in the 800 block of South 38th Street. Yesterday, officers were dispatched on a call initiated by a citizen complaint that 4 males were seen entering a garage with a possibly stolen red vehicle. Upon arrival to that scene, officers determined that there were, in fact, suspects still on scene and requested backup. While waiting for backup to arrive, the suspects attempted to open the garage door and exit from the garage. Officers actually attempted to de-escalate the situation by keeping the garage door closed while they were still waiting for backup to get there. Prior to backup being able to arrive on scene and assist those officers, the suspects did open the door and attempt to flee from that garage. As an officer attempted to stop a suspect from fleeing, there was a discharge of his gun. The officer was able to detain one of the suspects. 3 suspects fled from the scene. A short time later, approximately an hour later, 2 juveniles showed up at Norton Hospital downtown with minor gunshot wounds. Due to conflicting statements by both of these suspects saying that they were not involved and not at the scene, it made it difficult to initially determine their level of involvement in this incident. Later, detectives were able to, from review of the body camera as well as some information at the scene, determine that both of these individuals were involved in that incident on 38th Street. Both were treated for their wounds, which were minor and are in good condition at this time. It was later determined that 1 round was discharged from the officer's weapon, and that 1 round struck both individuals involved in this incident. 1 suspect ultimately was able to flee, and we do not have information on that suspect at this time. The other suspect was detained at the scene. We recognize that this information did not go out immediately to the public, and we are proactively, it is very important to us that we are proactively and transparently putting this information out so the public has access to this information about what occurred. We're very grateful that we are fortunate that no one was more seriously injured, no officers were injured in this situation. This information, as I said previously, is preliminary. We will follow up with more information as it becomes available. After consulting with the state police, it was determined that the Public Integrity Unit, PIU, would investigate this. The file, after the investigation is complete, will be turned over to KSP for a thorough review. It will then go to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office for a complete review and a determination process. It will also go through an administrative investigation for any other issues or things that we need to discover, as well as a performance review. Again, I would like to reiterate that if anyone has any information about this scene, about this incident, please reach out to us at 574 LMPD. I'll take some questions now.
Yeah, do you know the reason why KSP decided not to investigate this? To let you guys investigate it first and then hand it off to them?
I cannot speak on the reason why KSP is allowing us or encouraging us to take the lead on this investigation. That was a determination by them.
Just to clarify, Colonel, is it the gun went off because the trigger was pulled, or was the gun dropped on the floor and it was an accidental discharge that way?
We haven't determined why the gun was discharged at this point. Based on what we saw, it appears to be accidental, but we are still in the preliminary stages of that investigation. Going to have to determine exactly why things happened the way they did.
The 4 suspects, are they facing any charges?
That's all going to come out as part of the investigation on whether or not they face any charges as well.
Where were the 2 teens shot? Like which body part?
I'm not going to go into that right now, but they are non-life-threatening injuries and they are in good condition.
It says in here that there were multiple unknown threats, and that's why the weapon was drawn. What were those threats?
So going to a possible break-in in progress that was dispatched on the garage with a possible stolen car involved, and the officers were able to determine pretty quickly, it appears that there were multiple suspects still on scene, and so that is fairly standard on a break-in in progress of that nature to have a weapon prepared in that situation.
Was Was there a car chase prior to
No.
getting to the garage? Okay.
So there was nothing prior to this except for the dispatch run and the officers approaching the garage.
Was the car that was in question, was it in fact stolen?
We did recover a car inside the garage, and I do believe it was confirmed to be stolen.
A couple more, guys, a couple more.
Are you able to name the officer and how many officers responded?
We will provide the names of the officers at a later time. At the scene, there were 2 officers, only 1 officer involved in this situation.
Were any of the suspects involved visibly armed that these officers saw when they were engaging with them?
We have not confirmed that anyone was armed at this time, and we did not recover any weapons from the scene.
2 more.
Were any of the officers hurt at all in any of this?
So no officers were injured during this scene, so thankfully that's not an issue. We're very fortunate no officers were injured. And like I said, if anyone else has any more information, please come forward and call 574 LMPD.
Last one.
This is now the second officer-involved incident in just a couple of days. You know, for you all who go to these scenes and are in these situations, what is it like for these officers that go into these scenarios and then have this type of situation, you know, happen to them?
We understand this is a dangerous job. That's why it's very special people that volunteer to do this job to protect the community under these conditions. These types of situations for officers are extremely stressful, and it's a hard time for officers to go through those types of things. So that's part of why we're doing things like standing up a complete officer wellness unit, so we can provide that holistic support to officers when they've been involved in these types of things.
That's it, guys. Colonel.
Thank you.